Okay, here we go. So, welcome everyone to the Dan and Brian show on the WICR radio. I'm Brian Cairns. I am a junior. I am a business management major with a minor in sports management. And one day I intend to go to somewhere in athletics and do something with athletics after I leave college. Maybe one day be a D1 basketball coach. So, that's a little bit about me. And then my co host.
I'm Dan Abate. I'm a junior here at Iona. My major is journalism, and I want to be a sports writer, and I want to particularly focus on the NBA and basketball.
Cool. That's actually a perfect transition into what our show is about. And on the Dan and Brian show, we're basically going to be talking everything basketball, mainly NBA basketball, a little bit into Iona basketball once we get started with it and once it gets closer to the season, and then basically any major headlines that happens in any other major sports. So to get into our first topic, we decided to go with your favorite. Dan, what's your favorite team in basketball, and how do you think they're going to do this upcoming season in the NBA?
Well, I'm a big Spurs fan, and things were kind of rough last season, but to be honest, I could see us as like an 8th seed. I could see us as a 7th or 8th seed.
Yeah, and I think if DeJounte Murray comes back, he could play a huge role.
Yeah, definitely. I think DeJounte is going to be second team all defense this year.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm.
Definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
You guys have Rudy Gay coming back.
Yep, we just signed him to a 1-year deal.
1-year deal. Okay. What do you think your potential starting five is going to be?
It's going to be DeJounte running the 1, and then I haven't heard a lot of news on Lonnie Walker. But that's another big part of
that's
how we're going to do this
part.
season.
I think he still would be a bench player.
Yeah.
Just to develop a little bit more. But you got DeMar, LaMarcus Aldridge, who's still a beast.
Yeah. And I think we still have Paletti, Jacob Paletti.
I
think he's running the 5
for
us.
Yeah, he's a beast. You definitely guys got a good squad.
Yeah.
So for my favorite team, to give a little background on anyone, so everyone doesn't think I guess I am a bandwagoner, but ever since I was a little kid, when I first started watching basketball, I fell in love with LeBron James. And so any team he goes to, I'm going to go to as a fan. So right now he's on the Lakers, and that's my favorite team. I think just the way LeBron's career has been going and every LeBron team has been going, they'll be anywhere from the 2nd, 3rd, and at the worst, the 4th seed. I don't think he'll get the 1st seed. I just don't think that's how, just because I don't think him or LeBron or AD will, go championship mode throughout the whole season.
Right.
They're going to take nights off. They're going to take, reps off. So I think that's just the way it goes.
Right.
I don't really see them being the 4th seed. I'm just saying that to be,
Yeah, no, that's being very generous. They're very humble.
2nd seed for sure. Maybe 3rd seed if they take a lot of games off.
I think even with the games off, I can still see him as a 1st seed.
Or 1st seed. Yeah, true. That I'm not excluding the 1st seed. I'm just saying, to be reasonable, 2nd seed. But I think our potential starting 5 would be. I think you should still put Rondo as your starting point guard. You don't really have a point guard.
Yeah.
There was rumors about LeBron maybe starting at point guard, and I think that's a cool idea. I just think because you have such high expectations with this team that you have to start the season right away playing good for everyone to kind of just get off your back. So I think Rondo's the starting point guard. Danny Green would be starting shooting guard. LeBron. Well, even if you want to put LeBron, Kuzma. Well, actually, I think it's going to be LeBron at small forward, AD at power forward, and then Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee, whoever wins the starting spot. I think JaVale earned it more last year.
I agree.
So I think JaVale or Dwight starting center for whoever earns it.
Yeah, I can
pretty
see that,
solid, pretty solid. And then
you got
Quinn Cook coming off the bench.
Kuzma Avery Bradley too.
Avery Bradley.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a
Kuzma
solid backup
coming off the bench.
Right,
so it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really exciting. I'm excited for this year. Who other than your favorite team are you most excited about?
Honestly, I'm really excited to watch the Mavericks.
Yeah,
I'm really
yeah,
excited to see
they're a
Porzingis
cool
come back
team.
and how him and Luka are going to do, because I think the chemistry is going to be like something else this year.
Yeah,
And I think they could make the playoffs. I think they could be a solid like 7th seed.
Yep. And I think Porzingis is going to take a huge leap because Mark Cuban is already talking about making Dirk Nowitzki a part owner in the Mavericks. Yeah, that just came out. Like he just in the talks with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dirk will be around all the time to help Porzingis. And that's going to be huge. And Luka is obviously going to keep getting better as the years go on. It's just he's that smart of a player. I think I'm most excited, other than the Lakers, to see obviously the Clippers, who will be like the Lakers' biggest rival, obviously, because they're in the same building.
LA is going to be crazy this year.
LA is going to be crazy this year. Other than that, I want to see the Kings do really well. I really love Buddy Hield. Like, I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox is awesome. The Knicks will be interesting to watch because it's not like, yes, they didn't get Kevin Durant. Yes, they didn't get the number 1 overall pick, but they still have the potential rookie of the year in RJ Barrett, and they got Julius Randle, who's a beast, and they have a lot of people who's just like we were talking about earlier today, just role players.
Yeah.
So it will be cool to see, and like they'll have a respectable team, a team that's like you can't take lightly.
Yeah.
You know,
team you have to still play hard against.
And
honestly, I think people are sleeping on Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of actually, like just talking to everybody, I've heard a lot of slander on Dennis Smith Jr. saying that he's not that good. He's just pure athleticism, and he's pure.
Yeah, I don't agree with
that. The thing about that is like you can't teach pure athleticism,
right?
But you can basically teach everything else in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
So with Dennis Smith Jr., I can only see him getting better, and he was a very, very, very solid player for them last year.
Yeah, he has the capacity to get triple doubles. He has the capacity to average like 7-8 assists.
Oh yeah, easy. Definitely. So we can actually make this into a 2-part question, because in our notes I put who's your favorite player of all time, and I said not the GOAT.
Yeah.
So not the greatest player of all time, but we can do a little bit of that. I know that gets heated between us.
If Brian and I had a greatest of all time conversation on this show, the rest of the show would just be talking about the GOAT.
The GOAT. We could say who we think is the GOAT.
Yeah, and then we shouldn't dive too far into it. That's something we save for at night when we're just in the apartment.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, who is your favorite player of all time?
I'm a big Kobe fan. You know this. Kobe Bryant's my favorite player. Well, I just the mentality that he has. I talk to you about this all the time. Just the way that he thinks about the game and just like things in general.
Yeah,
his work ethic, just killer mentality. Just something that like Mike had it, but I think honestly Kobe has like the best. Like if you're making a perfect basketball player, you give him Kobe Bryant's brain.
And I think the thing, exactly. And I think the reason you say that is because, and I agree with you, it's because Mike was just, from all what I've heard, seeing interviews with people he's played with, everything, Mike was a person who was literally crazy about winning everything.
Yes.
Like there wasn't a single thing that he didn't want to win.
Yeah, every aspect of life.
Where Kobe was just like, and Mike didn't, treat his body well. Not well at all, right? But Kobe was so locked into basketball, and specifically basketball for those 20 years.
Yeah.
That's why I think it seems like he has a more killer instinct.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it was I'm sure you've seen this video on YouTube, or not YouTube, like social media.
Yeah.
About Kobe talking about when he used to work out, and he would wake up at 4 a.m., work out from 4 to 6, eat, then shower, then work out from 9 to 11.
Yeah.
He just kept going throughout his day, and it was 2-hour increments every 4 times throughout the day.
Yeah.
And he was like, already at the end of my day, I've done 2 days worth of more working out than you have. Exactly. And that was no one else in the history of basketball does that.
No one, man.
And so it is kind of crazy. Where do you put Kobe, your unbiased opinion, in all-time rankings?
Bias aside, he's Bron's better than him. Mike's better than him. I mean, I can't put Magic over him because when you hear Magic say it, Shaq, every one of the greatest Lakers of all time, it's unanimous that Kobe's the greatest Laker of all time. Yep. So honestly, man, maybe like fourth, yeah, third. I'd put him. Yeah. I'm not sure who I'd put third. Maybe
Kareem.
Yeah. You can say like Kareem.
Yeah, there's so many people. Man. Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to our starting five.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah,
but we'll get to that later in the show.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I would put Kobe around there. I think people, just because people said he wasn't like an entire team player, which is probably true because that's not what his game was.
Yeah.
But I think it just all comes down to you're right. Just his killer instinct and the fact that you could completely break him down and get him to pick up the ball and
it was going up anyway.
It was going up anyways, and he'll figure out a way to put the ball in the basket.
And that I think a lot of his buckets go back to like the killer mentality where like a lot of the shots he took obviously should not have gone in, but his whole mentality was I'm gonna force this over you and I'm gonna get a bucket over you because like I've trained too hard to miss this shot.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I've trained too hard to let you stop me.
And I've seen videos about him, and he would literally practice like having somebody shut him down, and then after that, what he does, and he knows where to put his feet, what moves to do. He knows if he goes here, you're gonna fall for it, and he can counter with something else. He just had so many things in his, as people say, as in his bag.
Yeah,
that was like there were so many tricks that he could do. He could pull out that. I mean, he was unstoppable.
Yeah, unstoppable scoring machine.
Unstoppable. I mean, the last game he scored 60. Like that's
60 points.
That's that was mind blowing to me. And it was like,
yeah, man.
And it was like I was talking to my dad one time, and he was saying that like, oh, like the Jazz who he played wasn't playing like really crazy defense on him, and like which is probably true that they weren't playing all out on him.
Yeah.
But one, it was kind of a critical game for the Jazz because they were leading into the playoffs, so they wanted to be playing well. And the Lakers won that game.
Yeah,
like Kobe came and won. So near the end, maybe at the beginning, they were it was his last night. It was all about him. They were kind of giving him his shots.
Yeah.
But that's when he gets to 40. And then he scores another like, 20 where they're like, oh, we need to win this game.
Yeah.
So that's why it was kind of crazy. That last game is the perfect story to, if somebody doesn't know basketball, be like, oh, that's Kobe Bryant.
That's Kobe Bryant. Yeah.
Yeah. He's old the whole season. He wasn't doing anything. Last game, oh, the lights are on me. Oh, I'm gonna go and drop 60.
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Where are we? Oh, my favorite player.
Yeah, never heard this one.
As I said earlier in the show, it is LeBron James. In my opinion, he is the perfect like if you were to put a basketball player together on a computer and just like, hey, this guy can go give you 27 efficiently, but also give you 8 boards and 8 rebounds every single night of the season.
Yeah.
And I think that's him. And I think he can take bad talent further than most NBA legends.
Oh, for sure. That's not even a question. Yeah.
Probably the greatest at that.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, you give me whatever and I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah. No, he's the greatest carrier probably in sports history.
And a lot of people say like there's a lot of like slander on him when like if he go near the trade deadline in 2018 where he traded away D Wade, all those Rodney Hood, all those players.
Yeah, yeah.
And he got back like George Hill. Oh no, he got back Rodney Hood. My bad. He didn't trade away Rodney Hood.
Yeah. They got George Hill too though.
They got George Hood, but I'm saying like at the trade deadline they traded away Derrick Rose. They traded away right. All these players, and then they got back George Hill, Rodney Hood, like all pretty decent players. And people then are like, oh, Mike and Jordan would never do that, would never just say, ship out my whole team. Well, there's a sense that, Mike and Jordan never had that team.
Yep. Yeah, that's facts.
So,
yeah, that's very true.
LeBron was saying, like, realizes, like, okay, I'm getting older and older. I need to ship out these players if they're not getting me what I need.
Yeah,
he has the right to do it. So
no, he does. I never understood why people criticize him for that.
Going on air and saying like, "Oh, my teammates weren't good this game," and they'd be like, "Oh, he's not a good teammate." Like last year, they were saying he was like people were saying he's not a good teammate, that he brings his teammates down. Like, just not true.
It's not.
It's not true. That's like
he's top 3 greatest teammates ever.
Greatest teammates ever,
greatest
in all
leaders
sports.
ever
Yeah.
in all sports, across all sports.
Yeah, definitely. And so I love LeBron. He's in his Miami days. He was, and actually this has been his way. More recently, he's been more of a facilitator, gotten better at shooting, because he's just developing his game when he gets older, because he can't every play body someone to the basket.
Yeah.
But I mean, back when he was in Miami and before that, he was literally the definition of unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't even get him to stop, or like he would just push right through. So that's why when like I sat down and watched basketball for the first time, it was LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
So I fell in love with him at a pretty early age and haven't turned back. So
yeah, let me ask you this: how many assists do you think he's going to average next season? Because honestly, I have him averaging 11 assists.
Yeah, I can see him averaging
assists.
a double.
Yeah,
like a 23, 25 point a game.
Yeah,
and then 11 and like 8.
Yeah, no, I think next season is going to be crazy.
That's why I didn't even mention this when I was talking about our favorite teams.
Yeah.
I think LeBron, it's either going to be one of two things, because I don't think they're both going to get these awards. It's either Anthony Davis is winning Defensive Player of the Year.
I agree.
And that, I think, is more likely than the other one is LeBron wins MVP. I think AD winning Defensive Player of the Year is going to be more likely.
Yeah.
But if LeBron takes them to the first seed and goes off like he did in 2018,
then
plays 82 games, then that was an MVP season. I get you give it to Harden, right? He won it then. I get you give it to Harden, but that, like, his level of play, and if he had the team he has now, it's over. But I don't think that's the thing. The only reason him not winning MVP is because he takes games off and he takes reps off, and he doesn't average as many minutes, which is smart because they want to go into the playoffs. And
he's focused on rings at this point. He doesn't care about MVPs.
He doesn't care about.
Yeah,
that's why I think, and Anthony Davis is going to be the leader of our defense. He's going to be the anchor to the defense.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I think he can win Defensive Player of the Year for sure.
Yeah, I think that's very feasible. I think that's definitely something within his grasp. I think he's going to have multiple before he retires, because he's one of the premier rim defenders in the league.
Yeah. Oh yeah. To get into that, to go off a little bit, what do you think your MVP for next season? So MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Most Improved Player, and Sixth Man. Well, we don't have to do Sixth Man. That's kind of hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know all the Sixth.
Yeah, all the Sixth Men. Yeah, but, like Lou Will again.
Yeah, honestly, probably. The Clippers are going to be nice, but oh man, MVP. I'm gonna say. I mean, honestly, I think it's gonna be a Giannis, Kawhi, or probably LeBron.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be those three.
I have one more sleeper is Steph.
No, I'm gonna take Giannis out of it. I'm gonna put in Kawhi, LeBron, and Steph. Because Steph is he came out and said, like, winning MVP is a personal goal, and he has, like, this year. That's what he said. Is, like, he can. He definitely can. He can.
Yeah. I think he's going to wake a lot of people up, like, wow, we kind of forgot about this dude.
Yeah, people forgot. He had, like, probably the most efficient offensive season ever. When 2016, when they won 73 games.
Yeah, so
season was ridiculous.
It's crazy. And the fact that he won't have Clay for a while.
Yeah, he won't have
Clay.
And
him and Draymond. Now, Draymond's a huge piece that's going to come back.
Yeah.
Him and Draymond will take that team to another level, I believe.
Definitely, I think D'Lo too, because Steph's going to be able to work off the ball.
Oh my goch, I forgot about.
Yeah, D'Lo. When Steph's able to work off the ball for like
get open
like
shot,
40% of the game, it's catch and shoot with him is automatic. So.
Automatic, yeah. So, I agree. So that's MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. I think we both agreed that AD is probably the AD. Leading. Unless you give it to Paul George.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Paul George. I think Paul George got robbed last year. In my opinion, Rudy Gobert did not deserve 2 Defensive Player of the Years in a row. Yeah. The first year he did. This year, Paul George was
locking.
Yeah, he was locked down.
Locking people down. You could even make the argument that Kawhi last year could have gotten it too.
Yeah,
like,
even like Kawhi.
But Kawhi didn't play. Like,
he didn't play enough to win like any award. To be honest,
he didn't play enough, but he won the championship. So,
so he got Finals MVP. So that's the MVP that he won.
And then what else? Oh, most improved player.
Most improved. I was gonna say DeJounte Murray, but can he win it if he didn't play last season, or does it have to be season after he played?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Well,
if he could, if he's eligible,
then DeJounte Murray. But if not, probably maybe Lonzo. Well, Lonzo also didn't really play, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's a possibility. I think anyone on the like Lonzo or Ingram.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lonzo or Ingram.
Because like Lonzo is one of the best defensive guards.
Yes.
Right now in the league.
Yes, easily.
And the fact that he's away from the Lakers, away from his dad, and he's his own man, like he's gonna become a different beast.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram is also the other one that I'm hoping doesn't end up like a Andrew Wiggins, who's like good, but like you're like, come on, bro, if you really locked in, you could become a different beast.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram can be very good. If he like locks in, like you said, and like starts working hard, he's gonna be very scary.
Very, very good. And I think, so I think those are DeJounte Murray is very good. Yeah. I think that's if he's eligible, can definitely win.
He just has to start scoring. If he can do that, maybe the Spurs get like the 7th seed.
Yeah,
if everyone just plays well. I don't know. But another thing about the Spurs, I think this is Pop's last season.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's retiring after this. I think he's hanging it up. I just don't think he cares that much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be. USA this summer could have taken a huge toll on him.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because he's had so many dominant seasons with them, and then they lose.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it's okay. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. So yeah, I think all of that definitely makes sense. Should we take a break real quick?
Sure, take a little break.
Okay, we will take a break real quick, and then we will be right back.
Oh. Did I just? I think you just unplugged. Oh no, you unplugged the headphones.